How important was it to you and to the other people doing like pool workouts?
I didn't have to do weights because I didn't have money to go to a gym and pay, I don't know, at that time, $25, $30, $35 a month. So underwater here, it was my weight. I would throw punches here. I would do all kind of exercise here. Burns your shoulders, it burns your underarms. And you don't need to go for weights.
In boxing or in combat sports, especially in physical sports though, boxing and like MMA, do you think they lost the art over time of the pool? Less people got away from it?
Big time. They only use it now when they have an injury. If you have a leg injury or a broken wrist, broken elbow, or broken, what they call it, clavicle, then they go, and they tell them to go in the pool. With that alone, if they tell you to go in the pool to develop those muscles instead of using weights, then you could use this as your every day, or every other day. You can come in here and just work your muscle without having to lift weights. We'll jump in the pool, lift our legs as high as we could, stay there for like 5 minutes and develop stamina and straighten your legs. And then throw some punches, like I said, and when you come out, you feel like you're quicker.
Yeah.
A lot quicker, because this body of weight, it's
Holding
heavy.
everything. Yeah.
And the coach was there. He'll make you throw punches for 3-4 minutes. And we were amateurs. We went just two minutes around. He would make us throw punches in the pool for 3 or 4 minutes, and we were burning. But we didn't talk back to the coach. What he said, we did. And you couldn't get out. When he told you to do jumping jacks in the pool, that was like for 5 minutes. And we were tired. And we wanted to, like, okay, when is it? We'll talk to each other, when he's gonna say stop. But then when you come out, you feel like you're the lightest person in the world.
The fastest. Too.
And you are so fast, and that actually helped a great deal. It was very different from today. I haven't seen in, I don't know how many years, and I mind you guys, I'm 65. Girls, I'm 65. I haven't seen, probably in the last 15, 20 years, I haven't seen boxers or UFC guy work out in the pool. I never seen it. I never seen on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever you want to call it. That art has been lost, and I don't see them. I really don't see them getting in the pool and getting their reps inside the pool.
Yeah.
Like the old days. But these are new cats, and they are so used to just going to the gym and working out. I give it to them. A lot of them are great. They have become great. But there's no invincible boxer out there like Marvelous. This guy went 60-0 straight, 60-0. Yeah, some people who knows him might say, well, he had a draw in between with Vito Antuofermo. No, that's bullshit. The judges gave him a draw. This was a beating he gave Vito Antuofermo. The judges gave him a draw. So he went 60 fights without losing. Mind you, he started his career as 2-2.
Well, the point is, though, that Hagler used old tactics.
Yes, you know who used old tactics too? Not because he's from my homeland, Puerto Rico? Felix. Up in some mountains in Puerto Rico, you will always see him running. It's that gravel, that going up a mountain, that's what develops, and the atmosphere that is so more beautiful.
It puts it in an element. Yeah, it puts your mind in a different element.
And it was old school. He was old school.
Me and my father have been talking about this topic, and I think it's an interesting topic because I think a lot of things, and me and my father have been talking about this topic time and time again, especially when we go into the pool. We want to get a good workout in, and the pool feels great. It's a perfect environment to work in, and it's a perfect environment for your mind. It's I find it at the same time you're working out very hard in the pool, and you're doing all these different types of exercises. You can get more consistent with it. Every exercise could be new to you. And not only that, you're in the pool. You know, it's not really like a regular gym environment. where some people don't feel like they even want to go into the gym some days. The gym isn't something that is aesthetically pleasing. But I mean, look at us. We're out, sunset, just two of us in the pool, and we're working on our boxing, and we're doing good work. And I think that's something that a lot of modern day boxers, or just even MMA fighters in general, um, and athletes have gone away from. The importance of the old tricks that genuinely worked for people back in the day. Um, at times, I feel like our progression as a human race and ideology, our progression as like a human race, in things that we do, in the technologies that we do, in the new just workouts or benefits or ideas and information that we learn, I feel like sometimes we forget that we don't need to progress on something that was already perfect, right? Um, and I feel like that's how I look at it, as like the old training styles, the training styles that people were doing back in the day for these young boxers. You saw my dad explain how back in the day this was their main type of workout. He really didn't have money to afford a gym at that time, being just a young boy from Carolina, Puerto Rico. It was evident like for him that he loved boxing but couldn't really have all the resources. And that's when you use your mind and use your really imagination and use the resources you have to your advantage. um, and I think one of those things, and I feel like everybody has, especially if you're down south, is a pool nearby, at least somewhere in a community maybe, or even a beach, um, maybe a pool in your backyard, even an inflatable, like even one of those big tall backyard pools, that are kind of like in an octagon or like circle-ish shape. It would help. It will help for a kid or someone that maybe doesn't have the resources to maybe go to a gym and try to become faster. Maybe doesn't have the weights to be shadow boxing with weights. Um, and just maybe wants to have a good time as well. I think the lost art of the pool is something that's interesting, because I think it was the most interesting like piece about combat sports, is that these fighters were using water to their advantage. And it was just super interesting, especially in that time of day where my dad was, born a long time ago. He's 65. And in that time, they were using something so basic, but making it so advanced in their own way. And just using a body of water and making it advanced and working on every part of the body was important to them, and it was important to his coach at the time, which is why they listened and obeyed. He told me even stories where he would go sneak out at night, and there will be a pool that's closed. They would go in their underwears, leave the clothes outside of the gate to go hop the gate and shadow box in the pool, him and his friends, him and his buddies. And the clothes were left outside of the pool to go back and run whenever there was a complaint, because the pool was obviously closed. And with you shadow boxing in the water, it made some type of noise, some type of splash, and all of a sudden now they're running out of the pool. But that just goes to show the dedication they had back in the day to just use the resources that they were limited to. And I just think the importance of that, to me, is something that I feel like we need in the hungry boxers nowadays, or hungry fighters nowadays, and just hungry athletes in general. Or even if you just want to be healthy, use the pool to your advantage. Use the resources you have to your advantage. Not every time you need the most best resource, the most best supplements, just anything like that. Sometimes it's a good way to go down memory lane, or a good way to take the old tactics and use them today, because the old tactics work back in the day. 100 years later, 50 years later, 30 years later, 20 years later, who says they don't work now, right? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about pool boxing. Have you guys ever did pool boxing? Maybe as an MMA fighter, if someone is aspiring to be one, or just training to be one. Have you guys ever used a body of water to work on maybe high knees, or just anything, a part of the body in general? Let me know in the comments below, because it's very interesting. I think it's super interesting. Let's talk. I love you guys. Thank you for everything. Peace.